effortlessip.com.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Bold Inventor Show. Kicking off 2026. Matt Kolseth and I. Year number 5, Matt. You ready?
Sure. Let's do this, man.
For 5 years. The Bold Inventor Show has been here every week. That's not true. We actually did 36 weeks out of the 52 last year. Every week, Wednesday, 12 o'clock, noon Pacific, we're live. Patent attorney, trademark attorney, talking shop, talking about intellectual property, inventions, trademarks, you name it. We've got 2 guests for you today. And before we get to that, let's check in. Happy New Year, Matt.
Happy New Year. I mean, just busy, man. Just busy. New year. I got some new goals. I'm really excited to be back in the office. Just busy trying to get the email cleaned up. Yeah, there's always more work than there's time to do, feels like.
Well, that is good. Yes. There's been no slowing down of inventors, entrepreneurs, at least from what I've seen. So, market does what it does. Politics is wild, but there's still people out there creating, innovating. We've even got a lot of AI inventors. AI is co-pilot. It's been a really fascinating year last year. This year is going to be more of the same, I assume. So we've got 2 guests on. The highlight guest here is Levitate Your Tech. We got Joe Sumter. He's calling in. He's in via video from CES, the biggest consumer electronics show.
Heard about it.
Yeah, biggest cool. Conference. You and I went a few years ago. Actually, that was awesome down in Las Vegas, Nevada. We also have a guest, Trevor Greenberg. He is the Disgruntled PM.
It was great.
He's got he's got his own show. I haven't listened to it, but I love the image. So I'll pull that up. He's going to be on our show, interviewing an interviewer. I'm going to do my best. So let's jump into it, Matt. We've got a couple questions that came in over the holiday. We've been off for a couple of weeks. Let's see if I can jump to those. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, we had a bunch. We've already answered a lot. If I went back and answered them, we got some New Year's questions kicking off. Let's do one out of Cora here. This is on the patent side.
All right.
Question is, will I get any advantage of having my own patents sold to a company in getting admissions? I think what they're asking is, hey, if I sell my product or I can show commercial success, is that going to help me get a patent? Is that the way you would read that question, Matt?
I don't know exactly what they meant by this. Getting admissions? What does that mean?
I don't know. Admitting, maybe submitting.
Yeah.
Let me just mention this. I love working with clients that have products that are selling.
Yeah.
It helps everything. It helps inform you as the client as to whether a product can actually garner interest. If a stranger wants to buy your product, probably something worth pursuing. And if you've got a sense that it's, hot, it's in demand, well, then that would support you probably taking on some risk, so extending some capital and investing further into patents and trademarks, IP, to protect what you've got. So it's a wonderful value indicator. Unfortunately, it has almost zero bearing in terms of whether you will get a patent granted or not.
Right. Yeah, I think companies are always a good idea, though.
I think so.
For commercial ventures.
Small caveat. There are ways during, it's called prosecution. If an examiner pushes back and says, you know what, this is obvious given these prior art, you can cite a declaration saying, actually, Mr. and Mrs. Examiner, we've sold like hotcakes. If there was already something out there, if this was an obvious thing to figure out, why do we have so much commercial success? So there can be some ways to provide evidence that way. But hopefully that answers that question.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, let's go trademark side. We're going old school, Matt. Almost 100 years ago question on this. This is like a law school question.
Okay.
And
are we capturing wild foxes or harpooning whales?
Oh my gosh, wild foxes. Haven't heard that in a while. Love it. No foxes or whales
were harmed.
During this production.
Okay.
I am curious about a trademark that was once used by an alumni group by my old university. This group has not been active since the 90s, and I'd be interested in launching an updated version of it. There's a logo, had the same one since the 1930s. I can't find any record of it in the trademark registries, and I want to grab it and use it. It's used in Europe, overseas, and so forth. But that's the general question. Can you dig up and reuse an old logo from a university? Any risks?
I mean, in this specific case, based on those facts, I don't see any harm there. Trademarks, are only valid and in force when they are registered and in use. So, nice. This one's neither registered. It appears like it's no longer in use. So any rights, whether registered or common, unregistered, are null and void. Fantastic. So anyone can pick up that logo and dust it off and use it for those services, those alumni services, or whatever else they want to use it for. There you go. Go for it.
Love it. Anything to mention about copyright, perhaps, over the artwork?
That's a good question. This is over in the EU, so I don't know how that works over there, to be completely honest.
Not legal advice.
I don't know how the trademarks really work over there, if we're being more honest. No, but yeah, a copyright could be, almost in perpetuity to a certain extent, but it's unlikely that thing is registered. And I would tell a client in this particular case, you go pay us to look for it. But more likely than not, you're not going to cause any harm by doing this. Worst case, you get a cease and desist from somebody and you know who you have to talk to about getting the rights for the brand.
Love it.
But yeah. If I'm anything, I'm practical.
Yes, you are. You are. Nailed it. We have a couple live viewers popping in and out. If you are watching live, this is your chance to ask a question. We got about 5 more minutes or so of live Q&A. And we'll have it at the end as well. Or while our guests are on, you can ask them questions. So love to have your participation. Plug in a question, comment. We'll put you to the top of the list. And keep cranking through. I'm going to do 2 more, and then we're going to get to our guest.
Cool.
We're doing a back-to-back trademark question for you, Matt. Keep you on your toes.
Okay, let's go.
So this is, they want you to cite legal cases here, Matt. Is your connection good?
Burger King versus Burger King. All I got.
What are some previous examples of legal cases where a startup is asked to cancel a trademark so it can take the trademark for itself?
All the time. That's a pretty frequent thing that happens where I think what they're asking here is, hey, I'm a startup and I'm in business and I see that there's a trademark that's registered that's maybe no longer being used by the company, and we want to cancel it so we can have the trademark or a similar trademark. Yeah, that's very common.
Okay, so that would actually
on a weekly basis.
Wow, so that's pretty frequent. So this example from earlier, maybe someone wants to use an old university logo. If it was registered long ago, you would still recommend going through this process?
Yeah, potentially. From a actual business perspective, I would probably advise that person to, instead of filing the trademark application right away, just go to market. Start, open up a Facebook page for your alumni association. Use the logo. You may not even want to register it anyway, if it's just an alumni association that's not actually making any money. Yeah. Do you really need the trademark registration? That's probably my recommendation. Okay. Probably not a money-making recommendation, but it's probably the correct recommendation.
On the other side, you said for a fast-growing startup that's looking to raise money, VC, you're going to want to cancel and you're
going to want to cancel that third-party trademark. It just shows everyone else that you're serious about your business. If you have investors, right, it shows that you're aggressive and have a growth mindset. So you're not waiting around for the USPTO to get rid of this trademark for you. You're being proactive.
All right. Good stuff. I see people coming in live. If you got questions, plug them in now. I'm doing our last one that came in over the holidays.
Are we trending yet, JD? Are we trending?
Well, we're hockey, so we started at 0, now we're at 4. I mean, infinite growth. If I'm not on my math. Here's a patent question. Due to lack of in-house electronic and mechanical engineering capabilities, we currently rely on modifying purchased equipment. We now need to improve this equipment and design more streamlined processes through external partnerships. This is so formal.
Yeah.
What key considerations should we keep in mind? Key considerations. I would say as you begin this invention process, which is what you're doing, you're improving upon existing equipment. One thing that comes to mind is contracts.
Yeah, right to repair.
Ding. But do you have employees doing this improvement? Do you have contractors doing it? And then when they come up with a solution, who's going to own them? And so if you have it in your contract that you own your employee's IP while they're doing it, thumbs up, fantastic. If you don't, you should shore that up before pursuing these improvements. You want to know when the IP is generated, when you create those, awesome new V2 models that are going to work for your capabilities, that you own it. And then before you go to market with those, maybe even before you implement in-house, but certainly if you're going to be selling these products, you want to clear it with an FTO. It's a freedom to operate opinion. Patent attorney at our firm, and we got a ton of them that are fantastic, will give you sort of an opinion to say, hey, look, what you're selling, this new version is not or is potentially infringing on existing patents, meaning that equipment that you're making improvements on, that core equipment may have a patent that's in force. And before you sell that new version, you may need to get a license from the existing rights holder to make sure you're not going to be stepping on their toes. So that should do it. Those are the big key considerations. Check your contracts, make sure you own the IP, and then don't be an infringer, and certainly not a willful infringer. That's not a good place to be.
Yeah.
In this world.
One thing that you mentioned, like the employee side of it too, but like working with third parties, I would be curious, like if they have agreements between the parties. So it's just like a work made for hire agreement where they're a contractor working for you and everything that they do and create is yours. You own it.
Yep.
Like JD said, I think check your contracts, right? You need to have an attorney vetted contract with your independent contractors who are doing the work with you if you intend to own it 100%, the inventions.
Attorney vetted _ italics, bold, not purely AI written.
Yeah.
Please get with an attorney, at least have them look at it. And it can be state specific. Employment law is state specific. Get with a local business attorney. Spend the $500, spend the $1,000, get it done right.
Yeah, you'll be able to use that contract multiple times, multiple vendors over your career. Fantastic.
All right, Matt, let's bring in our guest. We got Joe Sumter. Welcome to the Bold Inventor Show, sir.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Excited to be here.
Hey, Joe. Nice to meet you.
Well, I mean, you've got a lot of other exciting things going on. You're at the pulse of the current state of technology at CES. What's your experience like down there? What's it like down there?
Man, it's amazing. It's funny. They've changed up the layout a little bit here. So, at the beginning of it, everyone was kind of bunched together to go into the show there at the convention center. And it's so many people, man. This thing is packed with people, not just people, but just technology and innovation. So definitely excited to be here and to learn a lot while I'm here.
Absolutely. So, Joe, are you a vendor there, or are you just a participant out checking things out? What are you up to?
I'm basically a participant. I'm here to kind of meet, network, connect with people because I'm on the cutting edge of technology. So I'm always looking to learn what's new, where the trends are going, as well as just connect with different brands and stuff to find out what they're looking for. As a developer, we can kind of build for anything. So I'm always looking for something new to see if there's opportunities for us to explore some different spaces.
Look at you, man, making me feel bad over here for sitting in my butt at home. You're on a flight. you made the effort. Those are how you make big.
So it's no secret that JD loves Las Vegas.
Well,
I think not for the gambling or the partying or anything like that, but it's a nice. You enjoy going there with misses and hanging out by the pool and
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good story. I like that story. There we go. That's a good one.
That's a good, there's the yeah.
No, I've been to Vegas with JD. He knows his way around.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. It's a great place. Great place. I've been in a couple of years. So
That's right.
anyway, I'm excited to get back there. So let's see, Joe. So tell us about Tech Levitate and how that got started. What you guys are up to?
Yeah, so Tech Levitate for me is a gaming and innovation studio. We're based here in Atlanta. Really, our focus is kind of building out new ideas around gaming. Like we build games on Unity 3D and for mobile, and exploring some console stuff as well. And then looking at innovation from an emerging technology side of things. So we're always looking at the cutting edge of different apps that or different devices and stuff that are coming out. We're building our own stuff as well as connecting with partners who want to build MVPs or build new ideas on different platforms. So it's been around for a little while now. It's still relatively new, but I'm exploring and excited to see what we can do and build here, as we go forward over the year.
That's super cool, Joe. I was just watching something last night about Next Playground. Is that kind of in your wheelhouse? Technology, innovation, play, toy?
Yes, exactly. Really looking at, like I said, that play, the gamification of things. As we look at the way things are going now, really to keep people engaged, you kind of have to gamify your platform in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
So we're on the cutting edge of that, trying to look at some of the frameworks and stuff for doing that and keeping people engaged with your brand.
JD, you should check this out. It's called Next Playground, NEX Playground.
Okay.
It's kind of this sleeper hit product that came out of nowhere, apparently.
What does it do?
It's like an AI. It's a cube, like almost like with a camera. It hooks up to your TV.
Yeah.
And it overlays like AI on top of your kids doing exercises and stuff. So it gamifies the process of exercise.
Wow. Okay. I'm in.
It's pretty cute, but I imagine that's kind of like Joe's playing in that kind of world.
Yes.
Yeah, I needed that over winter break. I needed that with the kids.
Yeah, you did. I needed that 2 weeks ago too.
Stuck to their iPads and switches. Yeah. Okay, get them up and moving. Fantastic. Okay, well, Joe. So Tech Levitate. You and I actually talked, Joe, and we were kind of exploring video.
Yes.
And you showed me some very, very interesting things. I was playing around with doing music. I still am producing AI music. And I was like, gosh, how do I put visuals to this? And you were kind of onto something special. Is that a product that is still under wraps you're working on? Or is it that was just sort of one of many things that you're able to do?
I would say it's one of many, but I think what you're talking about, because it's interesting. I saw you start the show kind of talking a little bit about, just in general about music and that love for it. I'm doing AI music as well. Actually, released a couple albums.
You are both like Renaissance men, like polymaths, right? It's true. You guys are. Like maybe I'm the same way, but like we love to dabble, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You gotta dabble. You gotta have fun. Life is short, man. Have fun. You got a passion for some stuff, and now with AI, you can kind of do it rapidly and still have a little bit of quality tied to it.
Yeah.
So definitely exploring that space, and one of the platforms for building out the music videos is something called Freebeat AI, and that's what I think I showed you was kind of it kind of ties into Suno, which is the music side of things, but also ties into Gemini and Google as well, and it creates these dynamic videos based on the song itself, right?
Yeah.
And so it creates. I mean, it's amazing. It creates you can create a story with any type of prompt that you want, or it can just interpret your song and build a video from it. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
What's the name of that for anybody out there might be listening?
It's freebeat.ai.
Freebeat.
So, yeah. And if you go to my channel, I have I'm actually building some videos on how to use it. I would love to connect with you, JD, and to say, hey, this is build a video that's cool for your music, man. I'd love to do that. And connect there. But yeah, it's a lot of opportunity now for just taking, just thinking through ideas around music and then tying it together with video, tying it together with your own voice, like using, maybe using 11 Labs and putting your own voice behind it, where instead of just using an AI voice. So there's a lot of different ways you can go with this. So excited to see where things are going in the industry.
So you mean JD doesn't actually have to sing?
No, we're gonna make JD sing. We're
gonna make him sing, but he's not actually. I mean, we're not gonna.
You know what? Oh my gosh, this is funny because so when you publish, at least when I do on DistroKid, when you publish on Apple Music, they require you to be a part of it. I don't know if anybody's ever distributed music, and so I have up to now been probably fibbing and saying I would do a vocal accompaniment. So I'm already saying
you're already just an absolute.
I'm already there. So I've lied. Help me tell the truth now, Joe. So, all right, this is great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So you're basically just amplifying, levitating any technology is really what you're up to.
Yeah. Like looking at different ideas to elevate technology. And then I have my own, sort of products as well. Like you mentioned, from an AI perspective, I'm building a solution to allow artists like you, musicians, and just artists who draw to connect with gaming studios so they can pull their music into games.
How cool is
I'm
that?
building a platform for that.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah. So it'd be like in Fortnite.
That gets me so excited. That is so fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Tell
me, okay, explain that. Say that again.
All right. So think of it this way. Like, as an artist, okay, you don't have an audience. Maybe you have a small audience that you want to actually, amplify to help to connect with your brand. So what I'll do is with the platform, you'll be able to upload your licensed music or music that you own your masters to. And then gaming studios can search for that music and say, hey, I want to add this into a game. And then they would connect the contract with you together and then deploy that music within their game. So that way you can share audiences. It's challenging for there's so many games out there now too. They're trying to get visibility as well. So why not get visibility on both sides? You have your audience, they have their audience, and you can actually use the platform to gain some traction together. So that's the plan.
A really good longtime friend of mine, since I've known since third grade, was just visiting me. He works for a gaming company and very well known first person shooter game, and he is the audio guy that does all the audio sound effects for specific characters. And in those games, there's noises and sounds for like when you hold a weapon, when you engage an ability, when something happens on the screen, there's a noise. And he's talking
I'm sure it's thousands of sound bites, right?
And how they all come together, right? How they meld. So that's his work. And he talks about how they're struggling now, whether they need to create their own sounds, which is what his management is telling him still. I need you to create your own sounds, capture, record your own sounds. Don't rely on AI. When is that going to break? At one point is that going to become so inefficient?
My wife was dealing with something similar yesterday. She needed to record a new voicemail greeting for her stores, for her businesses, right? And she didn't want to use her own voice. Nobody likes the sound of their own voice. And so she used AI. And you know what? It's good enough.
Good enough. Okay. All right. But it could have been great, Matt.
Could have been great.
Could have been great. Joe would have had something even better. Anyway, no. So, but having a way to sort of broker, create a marketplace for artists, is always fantastic, I think. And so exciting. As an artist, I'm okay just creating it, and I'll keep creating it. But that'd be kind of sweet. That'd be kind of fun to make a little money too. And so I think you're going to get very little resistance, from the artists. I think that's an easy win there. Harder is going to be, how do you make it so painless for the companies to integrate, to add on, to have that kind of Suno AI easiness of no contracts. I'm not dealing with any licensing fees. It's one payment and I get to do all this, So you figure that out. You're onto it.
Yeah, there's a lot to figure out because even with what's going on with Suno and stuff, like they're being sued by the music industry and stuff like that, and so we're trying to figure out. We want to do it the right way, right? In a sense where the artists have rights, the gaming studios have rights, and the owners, the labels, for some of the music have rights as well. So we're trying to figure out the right approach for that and having conversations around that, so we can make sure that that everyone gets their fair share of the pie. Right.
Yeah.
With that, right, and we solve a problem. So.
I want to take a look at your website, give you a chance to kind of, promote yourself, talk about your company. Is that all right? So walk us through, if someone's looking to hire you, how would they go about it?
I think I lost the audio. Can you guys hear me?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
there we go.
I might have lost audio.
I think we only lost.
I can hear you.
We lost
just fine.
JD. I can hear JD.
Can you hear me now? How we doing?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, I can't. Sorry, I can't hear JD though. But we're good. We'll keep going.
We'll keep going. Well, Joe, how about this? We'll have you go backstage for a second. It was so good to have you, Matt. If you could share that with Joe. If everybody hear Matt?
Joe, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Matt. Can you repeat what JD says?
Yeah, so we're gonna put you backstage for the moment, and we'll pull you back here if we can get the audio figured out. But
Gotcha.
JD, anything else you want to?
Yeah. No, just thank you, Joe. Appreciate you being on.
Thank you, Joe. We really appreciate having you on the show today. You were a delight, and I hope we can have you back again sometime soon. But hang around backstage for a little bit. We'll see if we can't get that audio fixed.
All right, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. This was awesome. Thank you.
All right. So cool. Too bad with the audio. It's so strange.
Yeah, do you want him to hang around back, or what do you?
Yeah, I mean, we may bring him on. Joe, you're welcome. If you can hear me, just tell him we'll probably move on to Trevor. So no.
Yeah, so we're gonna move on to Trevor here and bring Trevor on, but hang around if you can for a little bit. If you got something else going on, by all means, wonderful having you on, and we'll catch you next time. And with that, it sounds like Trevor's coming on.
Sounds good. Let's bring Trevor. Hey, Trevor, thanks for waiting backstage. Welcome. Oh, you're on mute.
No. What is it? Is it day one COVID?
Well, you see, I didn't want whatever I was playing in the background while you two were recording to taint the recording.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, man, see, it's smart. You're on it. I appreciate you being on. And so you're Trevor Greenberg, and you're with you've got your own podcast, the Disgruntled PM.
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. I should have listened. Shame on me for not. What's it about? Is it about being pissed off about project managing other people? What is going on? What's the subject?
It started last year where I was realizing that project managers as a profession, we're fairly disgruntled because nobody knows what we actually do. And our job
to the customer.
Our job is to make everything look easy.
Yeah.
But when we do that, our role gets lost in the mix because as the outward observer, everything looks easy. Meanwhile, as the PM, I'm project manager. I'm running around with my hair on fire, doing 800 things, clearing roadblocks, making sure everybody gets what they need, making sure things are on time, on budget, on task, all those things. And you ever talk to professional project managers, and generally they're unhappy in some way, shape, or form because nothing ever goes according to plan.
Because it sounds like success is super quiet.
Our success is quiet.
Yeah, right.
Because when we make it all look easy and everything is done right, guess what happens? The stakeholders take the credit.
Dang. Shoot. Dang. Yeah. Well, okay. All right. Now, project management. Now, there is a PMP certification.
Yes.
Is that what we're talking about here? Certified, or does that even ever need to
Trevor,
be?
I don't know if you know this, but JD's an old Boeing guy. So, I mean, he's like Six Sigma,
I have that. I've got a Six Sigma black belt.
Oh, black? Oh my gosh, you're on. Let's go. Let's do it. I did some Six Sigma back in the day. It's been about 10 years, and some lean stuff.
Throwback, man.
Oh yeah, a little Kanban, little little here and there.
Now you're just flexing.
So tell us more about you, I guess. Take us back maybe before, and then what motivated you to start the podcast?
Well, I've been a project manager for almost 15 years now. I started when I got out of the military, and what I started realizing was the job is not easy, and you never know everything. You can spend your whole career as a project manager understanding what it is that we do, and you're still clueless half the time.
Dang.
Because I'm sure in your world too, no two cases are the same. No two projects are the same.
No. Well, actually has happened very few times. And
It's called a conflict of interest.
we cannot represent you right now. Why? We just can't. But no, that inventors invent so very, very rarely. I know what you mean. What kind of industries? What can you say? What companies you were at or are at?
Yeah, I've worked in all industries. I've worked in retail. I've worked in healthcare. I've worked in security. I'm a project management generalist, which means I will go wherever the work is. There are project managers that niche down into certain types of industries and certain specific things. And then there's construction, which is its own animal all the way on the other side of the world.
Got it. Okay. Fantastic. And what have you found? I guess what inspired you to start the podcast and how is it going?
It's going good. I've gotten a lot of good guests, and the point of the show is to bring on people who are subject matter experts, even if they're not project managers, to give their expertise on how you can be a better project manager. You know, one of my guests was, do you remember Pappygate, the stolen bourbon in Kentucky?
No. Pappygate?
Oh, there was, I live in Louisville, Kentucky. And oh God, it has to have been about 10 years ago. There was a whole bunch of Pappy Van Winkle stolen, which is where it started becoming famous.
Okay. It's a type of, I should know. It's a type of whiskey.
Bourbon.
Okay. All right.
Bourbon and whiskey are two different things.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, there was a whole theft ring inside of Buffalo Trace where they were stealing, just driving it right out the front door. And I had on the sheriff from, I think it was Franklin County in Kentucky outside of Frankfort, who actually investigated the case and broke it open. And we talked about how he used project management fundamentals without even realizing it to investigate the case.
Holy cow. That's cool. Very, very fun. If you're especially from your local, and that is hot.
Well, this was international. This wasn't just local.
Okay. Well, I missed it. I heard recently about a heist, a lobster heist. Did you guys hear about this? Costco truck?
No.
$400,000 of lobster tails was stolen on a single truck. It just disappeared. I love it. I don't love it. I mean, I think it's fascinating. It's like, oh my gosh,
real crime.
What do they turn profit?
Yeah, I can't wait for the podcast. You know, the 6-episode podcast continues.
Yeah.
True crime. Lobsters.
So you've worked, I mean, a project manager, I assume, has to be working at a company in-house. Or is there such a thing as a fractional?
Yes, there is. That is
PM?
Seems to be the hot trend for all the out of work project managers.
Okay.
Yeah, I have one.
You have one?
Yes.
What project are they managing, if you can say?
They are a third party and they work for a vendor who's a supplier to the OE, right? Or something like that. But yes, they're
okay. Part-time. It can be done.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is fascinating.
Why is that, Trevor? Why are we seeing a lot of because of the American car economy is collapsing?
Well, now you're putting me on the spot, but ultimately, just it's no secret that there's a lot of out of work people in the economy.
Yeah, and
everyone is starting to figure out I can be my own boss. I can build my own company, and it works in theory, but does it actually in application of what you're trying to do?
Let's talk about the podcast.
Okay.
Another reason why I brought you on. I have been kind of making this thing up here at Bold Inventor. What are some gems that you found? And maybe just share what's gone really well in the actual podcast world. And the production, editing, anything you found that you want to pass along that we might be able to do serving inventors. I mean, for the most part, we're here trying to talk to entrepreneurs, people that might be inventing, those that may need inspiration, that are wondering if it's something they should think about. That's kind of our audience.
Well, I think the most important thing, it applies in all facets of life, is just start doing something with a 70% plan. 70% plan now is better than a 100% plan 2 years from now.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Okay. So move forward, make mistakes, and just pick up and keep improving. That's good. What have you found? You said guests. You've got PMs.
Yep.
Any special, editing or magic or AI tools or anything you've used that have really, you think, propelled your audience or growth or success?
Well, I wouldn't say anything specific. I focus on letting the guests be the star of the show. I had on, and I also use I use LinkedIn to find a lot of people, just like you found me. If it's somebody that I find that seems interesting, I read their stuff, they seem intelligent, I talk to them, I invite them on. I had on the FBI sleep expert.
Hold on.
Yep.
I didn't know there was one.
Yeah.
FBI sleep expert. Yep. Okay. Tell me more. See, I'm intrigued. You just
she actually wrote the book on sleep. She released a book recently, last year, and she came on as part of her book tour to launch it. And she works for the FBI, but she's a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I can't remember which one.
Okay.
But she's a doctor specializing in sleep and works for the FBI in the capacity of helping the agents and the staff get better sleep.
Okay. I wasn't thinking about better sleep.
I was thinking too, like on the crime side, like what is she possibly like giving them insight into, like on a criminal?
Well, I imagine insomnia can lead to psychiatric disorders. That's where my mind went initially. Then it went to you, Matt, and we weren't live about this, but Matt's an inventor. Your invention came to you in a dream.
It's true.
Does she get into dream stuff?
A little bit, but you'll have to listen to get more.
And don't you remember those old images of, like, what is it, Benjamin Franklin, that would like try to get in a dream state to invent stuff, right? They'd be in this half asleep and they would hold on to a rock and then it would hit him in the leg and wake them up and hope they would be.
Well, let's try it next week.
I think we should do that live. You want to do rock?
You can drop a rock on your foot.
And then
isn't that how you cure a headache? You drop a rock on your foot?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's good. Trevor Greenberg. Okay. What's next for the Disgruntled PM, or you specifically this year? What are some of your big goals for the podcast? And then if you want to go expand upon your personal goals.
Well, obviously it's always to grow the show, to get bigger audience, better guests, the same stuff that everyone says. But, the biggest thing professionally for me is also to grow the audience, to build my network. And, I've said for this year, my goal is to actually reach out and talk to people as I connect with them. To start, we all build these connections in these networks and we'll chat with people or comment on their social media stuff. But do you ever actually reach out and talk to people on a call and get to know them more than basically instant messages?
Yeah. That's easier said than done, though, Trevor. I mean, maintaining a relationship is super hard and time consuming.
Yeah,
how do you manage it? Say what?
I barely see my wife enough and we live together.
Yeah.
So
I hear you, though. I hear you, Trevor. It is so hard to like truly connect with people in a meaningful way consistently.
Yes.
It's a good goal to have. How are you doing that?
I just met with someone this morning, actually.
Are you making just more a priority in your day?
Well, it's more so just I talk to someone, I meet them, and then I say, after a few messages, I'm like, here's my calendar link. Let's set up a call.
Yeah. Yep.
That is good. For me, it's we had a call, but then and for the maybe 20%, they get on a spreadsheet. I've got a referrals or I've got an actual sheet. And then when do I follow up, if at all, later, right? How do I think of them when something comes up related? So maintenance may be the harder thing.
I think that it becomes a lot easier to maintain those relationships when you actually talk to somebody versus just them living in your chats.
Yes. Okay. There you go. That's the distinguishment. Distinguishment? That's not a word. But virtual only versus actually having had a video or a phone conversation.
Exactly.
Yep. Totally. Yeah. Love it. And Joe, like I said, Joe Sumter, our earlier guest, was making me feel bad. I think there's still that third layer. So there's digital virtual chats, video. There's nothing like in person. For me, I think you guys, we're all human. There's something special that does happen when you see someone eye to eye, face to face. Memorable. It's just something extra. But it does take getting out of your house and traveling. But I think that's a really good point, Trevor. Take at least from stage 1 to 2 with the right people is excellent. I put up your link to your Spotify channel. I want to show because I love your logo.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Is this perfect? There it is.
Yes.
And kind of what we were talking about before, I'll give a little peek behind the curtain, is I used AI to create that, but I created it in phases where, like, I used AI to create the logo of the person. Then I used Canva to create the text and merge it all together. So as the two attorneys on here, is that personal or is that AI created now?
It depends on the aspect. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. I guess that's my answer to you, is that, unless we're talking copyrights, it doesn't really matter, because even if it's AI generated, you can still own it as a trademark, right? Yeah. So from my perspective, I don't care. I'm just the trademark attorney, right? So, like, I don't care if it's AI generated. If it fits, it ships.
Yeah. I'm not sure. We don't do copyright very often. That is definitely a squarely copyright question. Are you the artist? And I think initially, before you modified it, you could not ethically claim that that's yours. Therefore, you could not be the author. But as soon as I believe the term is significantly transform. At least it was when I was going to law school.
Sounds familiar.
Transform it. Yeah.
There's a transformation that occurs.
Yes. And if it is significantly different from the original work, it is no longer a derivative work, and therefore it's your own. So talk to a copyright attorney.
I think the answer is there are aspects of it that are registered, that are protected, by U.S. copyright, right? Mm-hmm. But there are other aspects that aren't, because it's not a human work of authorship.
Yeah.
Entirely.
How many followers you got right now? How many people listening to your show?
Oh man, which platform?
Oh, I mean, I guess your biggest, Spotify. Yeah.
Spotify is over 300 followers.
Hey,
nice. That's great.
Ton of followers. And you've got this year, you want to double? Let's go big or triple?
I don't know. I try not to put the stock in the numbers, more so in the impact. As in, when I hear people say, "Oh, I've heard of you," or "I've heard your show," I'm a member of a local chapter here for project managers, and it's always interesting when people come up to me at the meeting and go, "Oh yeah, I heard your interview with so and so," or hearing people say, "I listened and I enjoy it." That's more valuable to me than having a whole ton of followers that don't engage.
Yeah. And I guess, Trevor, that gets back to, like, why are you doing this in the first place, right? So why are you doing the podcast in the first place? And I work with so many clients who are podcasters, and, like, it's just something they do on the side, but generally 2 reasons, right? Either they love it and they just want to participate in a community that they love, or 2, right? They're going to basically take that success that they have on the entertainment education side of things in the podcast and push that towards their consulting agency or their law firm or whatever it is, right? I guess where do you fall on that? What's your?
I would say it's more of a giant circle of feeding the beast, because I'm very active on LinkedIn in the project management space. Obviously,
it sounds like you're very active in the project management world, right?
Yes, that's my world of where I stay, and I'm very active posting content, providing guidance and information, and then that leads the podcast and one fuels the other. And then
Sure.
it's also the idea of meeting people and networking and bringing voices out there that are popular people and also not popular people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish there was a, for this podcast, I wish there was less privacy. I wish I knew who downloaded. Like when I get, oh my gosh, 40 people downloaded our show last week. Who are you? How do I'm not going to reach out. I just want to know what age, what industry, what profession.
Leave a comment when you who are you? Where do you live and what do you do?
But you're right, Trevor. What fills me up is not how many subs or how many listens. It's the engagement. If we get people responding, posting, coming to our live show, truthfully, it's been very challenging. It's been, and we do a live show and basically get about zero. I think the most participation we've ever had is other attorneys lurking to see what another lawyer's doing, and if it's interesting and how they might copy it. Well,
and that's something that I've found all over LinkedIn is everyone wants to post about, in case you couldn't tell, I'm that's my platform of choice that I engage on. And one of the things I say is you won't find me advertising the show or plugging the show on Instagram, because I say my target demographic is me, a project manager who's been doing this for a while, or somebody who wants to learn about project management. And I don't go to Instagram to relax and watch project management content. I go to Instagram to watch cat videos.
All right. Yep. All right. Yep. Now that you mention it, when I'm casually looking through YouTube, I'm not doing too much research on intellectual property law, am I? No, I'm not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is good. This is very good. Framing. Awesome. Interesting.
Now, Trevor, do you find that your audience, are they tuning in like on a weekly basis, or are they dropping in, dropping out kind of, randomly?
I think it depends on the guest. There are some guests I've had that have crossover from project management to hobby things that I'm into that, I use the show sometimes just to get to people that I'm in things I'm interested in.
Totally.
Because it's a vehicle to be able to reach out to people. And I'm very active in the home gym community, and I've had on.
Cool.
Go ahead. What were you saying, Matt?
Oh, I was going to say I typically once a year, I actually just sent an email out to an influencer that I really like and appreciate, who does a really cool thing for the car community. And so I offered to do some legal work for him this year, and that's just a way to participate in the community more. Right. He's not going to pay for anything, right? So,
is the car chat guy?
Which one? There's so many.
The one that was on NPR for years. I don't know
Click and Clack, the Capit brothers.
Yes. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I grew up with those guys.
The accents are so good.
Oh my gosh, I grew up with those two.
Okay.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Did they
now we're going to go down a dark rabbit hole.
One of the brothers passed away for sure, but I forget. Car Talk, right?
Car Talk. That's it. Car Talk, not Car Chat. All right, guys. Well, I guess we'll offer this. I always ask Trevor, and I'll bring Joe back on. Golden nuggets, wisdom to pass down. So Trevor will stay with you. If there's someone out there listening that perhaps is thinking about starting their own podcast, what piece of advice, what's one thing you would tell them, to do or not do?
Well, I'll give the same thing I talk about with anything, is especially with content related. Start. Don't think about if it's terrible, because guess what? When you first start, unless you're a brand name and popular, no one's going to listen or read it or watch it anyways in the beginning. So you can learn how to iterate and get better at it when nobody cares.
So that's good advice, right? You're not as important as you think you are, probably, right? So don't take yourself too seriously, especially at the beginning.
Love it. Thank you, Trevor. Joe, are you able to hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you for sure.
Welcome back. Thank you again for making time, hanging out backstage. Same question for you. You're doing a lot in technology. If you were to give a piece of advice to someone out there listening who might be an inventor, might be trying to start up their own thing, want to have their product at CES, what's some advice you would give?
My biggest advice, and I talk to a lot of founders, is don't go it alone. I think a lot of people think you can just go into a corner and kind of build this whole solution and make it perfect, and now it's going to have all these fancy features and stuff. You can't do that. You really need to find ways to collaborate with people, to get it in front of people early, do customer discovery, to build out just enough just to get feedback, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's one of my big advices is, don't go in a corner and build it for 6 months or spend all this money to hire a team to build it. Build something small. You can vibe code stuff now. Just build something really small, get some insight, and then find who you're going to collaborate and partner with to build it. So
that's fantastic.
Is that going to be the 2026 word of the year, vibe code?
Oh yeah, that's all we hear now, right? This vibe.
Yeah, my 12-year-old vibe code now.
Sorry, that's way over my head. What are you guys talking about? Help me. Via code?
Vibe code. So basically using AI to build that first layer of code for yourself. So they have tools like Lovable, Replit, those type of tools. Yeah, I know they're all over. But you look it up, you'll see it. It's if
you ask ChatGPT to build you like a really small little software solution, like it'll pull in Zapier and it'll start coding in Python. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a new world now. You can really, if you can figure out how to prompt, like to build a little small prompt about what you want, you can do something really quickly within those type of tools and at least make it clickable where you can show people. So it's all this vibe coding stuff.
Well, Trevor, Joe, you've been wonderful guests. Thank you for your time, attention, and insight, wisdom. Matt, as always, same for you. Thanks for being part of this. If you missed us, you're watching this after the fact. We are live every Wednesday, the Bold Inventor Show. That's Pacific time, 12 noon Pacific on Wednesday. Check us out. Thanks for tuning in. Go big, go bold.
Go big, go bold at boldip.com.